Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's do a recap of today's markets and talk about what I'm looking for going into tomorrow. Well, today was a little bit of kind of a goofy day, in my opinion. Extremely low volume. Before we start here, we talked about it a little bit last night in our video, but talking about this volume here on the S&Ps and the indexes in general, we're looking at some extremely light volume here. The S&P, I typically like to see 7,000, 8,000 on up. Contracts traded every 2 minutes. And we're seeing some, if you just go down here to the bottom, the average volume here on the day, let's just see, we're shooting somewhere around 5,000 contracts and less at sometimes. Sometimes we got down into the 2,000 area. 2,800, 2,500, 3,200 contracts traded every 2 minutes, and that is not much. That's extremely light volume. So, what I want to point out here, and I'll revisit here in a minute when we talk about the S&P, but these moves up are on extremely light volume. You see how volume kind of decayed here a little bit. We had a little volume decay here. We did have a little spike here. Going into lunch, but even this climb here this afternoon, there is virtually no volume here. It's just extremely light volume on the way to the upside, and that's that's something we've been dealing with for a long time here. Low volume grinds to the upside, quick sell-offs, but being in the sideways range that we're in really sparks my interest here. So let me kind of look at a few things here moving forward. Let me get this out of the way for us here. Moving forward, look, here's the Russell, and it's just like any other index here. The Russell's holding its resistance. We have all this resistance on a daily chart. The Russell was kind of the leader to the downside, and the NASDAQ was the leader to the upside. It's just been one of them days. But you see, we are still holding resistance. This here is the Russell. Even if we go over to, say, let's look at the S&P. All the indexes kind of look very similar. But even the S&P, which did climb higher, as you can see, we still have this resistance up here on the daily chart. So I'm not getting all too wrapped up and too crazy here about saying, holy cow, look at this push here. This thing is going to the moon. Now, if we do break above the highs here going into tomorrow, I will be looking long. There is only one direction for me to look. We're kind of pushing away from this midsection here and looking long. But going into tomorrow, I'm still going to know that, hey, we are at the resistance here on the daily chart. I need to be well aware with that. So I'm not going to come in with nothing but a bullish bias. If we come in and we show signs of some selling coming into tomorrow, say we exhausted ourselves here, we're in this resistance area. If the markets start to sell off and we get some support from our internals down below here and we show some volume to the short side, I am absolutely going to start shorting tomorrow. Because why? Here for so long, ever since November, we've basically been trading this range. So guess what? I'm going to trade the range until it fails. Sure enough, if we break out of these highs here, I'm going to be looking long. So that we already know that. But being in this range, I'm going to continue. Every time it's came up in this range, guess what we've done? We've shorted. So as it comes up here, and if we get some a little more volume tomorrow and we get some selling to happen, I can definitely see myself trading it back down towards this mid-range, just as we always have. So I'm not getting too excited with this low volume move, but when it moves to the upside, it is on lower volume. Whenever it starts to sell off, volume comes in, volatility comes in. It makes for some really fun trading. So going into tomorrow, if we get some volume and we get some selling here, that's the kind of markets I'm looking for. That's the kind of activity I'm looking for, and I will be definitely looking to get fully engaged here in this market to the short side. And that goes for all the indexes, not just the S&P. That goes for all the indexes. I like to trade the Dow a little bit. Definitely like to trade the Russell. As you see here, we traded the Russell today. But same analysis today. We're at resistance. As we started to sell, why did I trade the Russell? You see here, all my trades came in the Russell, not the S&P today. Well, that's simply because in the Russell here, the Russell was kind of the path of least resistance. It was the leader to the downside. If you take a look over here and look at exactly where I was trading, you're going to see I was doing a lot of trading below the previous day's lows. That's this red line that you see. As we came in here, we dropped down, came up, retested, I shorted. Another short there. As it dropped more, pulled back, I shorted. Another short. As it failed here, we collected like 20 ticks on this, even though we didn't hit the lows here. It popped back up. What I do, I shorted again. That one failed. That one decided to go ahead and pop higher. But nonetheless, we had good activity here below the previous day's lows. And the reason we chose a Russell and not say like the Dow or the S&P, because they weren't trading this low. We're looking to sell. The Russell was selling more, so we resorted to the Russell and got two really nice pullbacks and shorts. Pullbacks and shorts. As I tried to push it just a little bit, didn't quite get that third one to roll on over and start selling. The low volume, little chop to the upside came into play, and that's whenever I called it a day. And I decided, hey, I've had enough fun here to the short side with this Russell. I will wait for the next rollover or wait for us to pop through these daily highs. I wasn't going to try and guess which one of these highs is going to hold and which is not going to hold. So going into tomorrow, I am going to see if we can break through some highs and go with it. If we get any type of increase in volume and some short opportunities, I will be fully engaged and ready for them opportunities. So hope that makes sense, guys. Hope that helps you out a little bit. It was a fun day here. Even though it was extremely low volume, it was a very fun day to trade. We were able to pick up on a lot of stuff and just watch how price works and the different stages of volume and so on and so forth. So it should be a pretty good day tomorrow because we're at the resistance. We always like trading at the extremes, and when I call it the extremes, I'm talking about at the highs and at the lows. Those make for the best trading days. So I'm very excited for tomorrow to see exactly what we get. If we get some selling, high volume selling to come in here, or if we continue to leak our way to the upside. So that's it for me today, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead, get a hold of me. Adam at directiontrader.com, or you can leave a comment at the bottom of this video. All is the same. I'm the one that responds to them. So go ahead and get a hold of me. If not, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good afternoon.